Some Nigerians, though, they thought that this is the first time the National Assembly, which you have always been part of, is being more detailed.
Yeah, because now we know that the government is serious. In those previous years, it's more or less. I don't want to use this word because you know I'm a Senate leader. I don't want you to come to the studio and say something and my guys will come and punish me for it. But this is the first time we are really doing a budget. This is the first time we are trying to avoid just rubber stamping a budget.
Senator, if you say this is the first time you're doing a budget, let's look at some of the issues that have been played out or have been put forth, suggested by some. Issues like different names for the same thing within the budget. For instance, you say, for want of a better example, 100 million naira for stationery.
Yes.
100 million naira ream of paper.
Yes.
100 million naira envelopes. 100 million naira photocopying paper, which is like basically the same thing.
That is.
So, and yet you're saying the figure, because we understand the figure that was presented in December has not changed, but things like these are there. So how
that's what we are doing now, doing the integrity check, working with the executive. This is the first time we are doing the budget, not concurrently, only concurrently, but collectively. In the budget that we are doing now, the budget processing right now, the executive is involved. We're working with them closely. The House of Representatives is involved. We do it like harmoniously so that we will come out with a budget that is acceptable to both the executive, the legislature, and even the judiciary, to say an arm of government that is involved. They come before the Senate.
If you're working...
So let me talk on that very important aspect. See, we are putting an eye because the overhead and recurrent expenditure in this budget and every time is too high, 70%. This government tried to bring it down, and it is all, embedded in that, what you just now say. They will say, we are going to, like my name is Muhammad Ali Ndume. They will say, okay, 200 million naira entitlements for Muhammad, 200 million naira entitlement for Ali, 200 million naira for Ndume. They're talking of the same person. So now if you don't look carefully, you will say, who is this Muhammad? Or you say, oh, it's Muhammad Ali Ndume. Then you go down and you say, who is this Ndume again? Yes. So you now remove the two and you save 400 million that you can pay Suleiman and pay the other person who is sitting down there waiting for his entitlement too. But then, as I said, this is a new thing, a new way, and we have this integrity issue.
Does this new things, Chairman, sorry, or new ways, I don't know if you're still on the budget.
Yeah.
But, okay, because I wanted to just move a little bit. We'll come back to the budget. Does this new way, a new thing, has anything to do with the leadership of the Senate? Because, we have to go back. Now you're here because we recall initially when you people came on board, you started by having what people call infighting.
No, it's normal. That's interest. When the Senate is being inaugurated, the 8th Senate, of course it's natural to have interest, struggle, or whatever you call it, for the leadership. And when that is normal politics, the horse trading and all that. Well, our own, if that's why you want to drag me to, our own became a little bit, and it refused to go.
It hasn't gone.
Yeah, it hasn't gone. That's the truth. This leadership thing in the Senate. That of, it was almost the same thing in the House, but that of House now is much, much better because he's still here of those issues. But it's normal in politics. It's about interest. And if your interest is not realized, then you struggle to protect, to further see if you can get that interest. But then my concern is that you don't do that to the detriment of the main objective of that institution.
What's the main objective in this case?
Oh, like me, I wanted to be the Senate president. I wanted to, and I'm qualified, just as every senator, 109 of us, is qualified immensely. to be the Senate president. And besides, to me, that is the easiest job to do because you are just presiding. You don't even have a vote.
Senator,
constitutionally.
Senator, that infighting that was at that time held the entire nation. It looked as if it kept the nation at a standstill.
I want to disagree with that.
Okay.
What job are we supposed to constitutionally do, despite the fact that, let me use the word fighting, despite the fact that we are fighting? What constitutional job did we fail to do? The president brought the list of ministers. This is the first time in the 16 years of ours, even when the ruling party, the former ruling party, PDP, or what you call the PDP, at the inauguration of the first, second, third, and the fourth National Assembly, ministers that were sent for confirmation by the presidents, the previous presidents, did not get 100% confirmation. This is the first time we confirmed ministers 100%, despite the fact that this is the first time we had a near-neck opposition, because PDP, as at that time, had 48 members, and against our 60 or thereabout, because there are some two of these. But we were able to pull our way through and have all the ministers confirmed for the ruling party. That's the first time. This is also the first time a supplementary budget was brought, and we increase it to cover for an anticipated expenditure that is necessary, that has to do with this fuel subsidy thing. Because the one they brought to us was up to September. And when we were asking questions, we were processing it, we discovered that that of September to December last year was not included. And just after, if we just approve the supplementary budget like that at that time, it will just be halfway done, because the marketers will now say, oh, what of September to December? And it means that the president would have had to go back to the National Assembly. But we did our job. So I want to disagree with you with all due respect, that while we're fighting, let's use that word, we're still doing our job.